Welcome to another episode of Blockbusting. I'm your host, Jay Light. And here today to talk shit about movies with me is one of my favorite people, Nicole Aimee Schreiber.
Hi.
Nicole, it's so nice to see you today.
I love you, Jay.
I love you too.
You're the best.
You're the best.
You're the best.
You have been such a joy to have in my life.
Oh, I love you. Ditto.
And now I'm having you on this podcast.
I love this podcast. It's a great idea.
And you've been and you're coming to us special today because you're sleep deprived right now.
So 3 hours sleep.
Oh my God.
3 hours of sleep. That's what happens when you go to your best friend's wedding and you pick up a stray dude at the wedding.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. And then you have a doubleheader softball game because you're in a comedian softball league. So I had to spend 3 hours this morning with comics.
Oh, man.
With 3 hours of sleep.
That is a
Yeah.
lot. That's a
much.
lot to do in a 3 hour
Yeah.
sleep window.
Yeah, so stray dick, 3 hours sleep, 3 hours hanging out with comics.
And now you just get to chill with me.
Now I'm here
and
with
we're gonna
you.
yell about some shit.
Oh God, I can't wait to complain.
Let's complain. First of all, let's complain about the box office results this weekend. So, looks like our old pal Jigsaw, the Jigsaw Killer, is coming back on top of the box office. Number
Wait, isn't
one.
he the Saw guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're sort of rebooting the Saw franchise with this new movie Jigsaw, coming out on top this weekend for Halloween weekend with $16.25 million.
How much did it cost to make the movie? Do we know?
$10 million.
Oh, all
That's
right.
the thing about the Saw movies; they're always super cheap to make.
I feel like horror movies are like I don't know much about the box office, but I do know horror movies turn a profit pretty easy.
Yeah, horror movies are generally not that expensive to make. I mean, the most expensive horror movie that we have, and it's pretty much all horror in the top 10 this week. The most expensive one is It, and that only cost $35 million.
Oh, that's not a lot.
Compared to Geostorm, a trash bag, which is $120 million. Blade Runner 2049, which is unfortunately a flop. At $150 million, has only made $81 million.
Now, I haven't seen it yet. Do you have to see the original Blade Runner to see this Blade Runner?
I hear you don't. I haven't seen the new one yet.
Okay.
I just watched the original for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And from what I understand,
Does it hold up? Does
you
the
don't
original
have
hold
to.
up?
The original does hold up.
Okay, so
I
then
like
maybe
the
I'll just see that and forego the second.
Maybe. I mean, I hear the second one very good. I love the director, Denis Villeneuve. I don't know how to pronounce a French man's name. but I'm gonna
Denis
go with
Villeneuve.
So here's how it's going down. Jigsaw, number one. We have at number 2, Tyler Perry's Boo 2 of Medea Halloween,
Wow.
earning $10 million.
And how much did that cost to make?
$25 million.
That much?
Yeah.
For what?
Tyler Perry going all
Tyler
out.
Perry's
Mostly,
salary?
I feel
that's
like a
it?
lot. Yeah, that's like Tyler Perry's salary and costume budget is mostly what's happening in there.
Man.
Because that Medea suit has got to have it has to be more technologically advanced as time goes on.
That is so insane.
Like, he's not doing any kind of Martin Lawrence Big Mama's House bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
He's going all in with that natural fat suit
Oh,
and makeup.
man.
Boo 2 Medea Halloween, $35 million gross total so far.
Okay.
Coming in at number 2. Geostorm, that Gerard Butler movie.
Okay, not seeing it.
I'm not going to see it.
No interest whatsoever.
I've seen enough disaster movies. Number 3, $5.675 million.
Okay, that's a lot of money still. Nothing to laugh at, but not enough. How much did they say? It was its first weekend, you said?
Last weekend it made about, it looks like probably just shy of $20 million.
And then it dropped down to what?
Now it's at 5.675.
Wow.
And that cost $120 million to make.
Bummer.
Because it's a big disaster movie. So what'd you expect?
Wow.
Yeah, that thing is going to flop hard.
Oh, wait. There's this one movie coming out. It's a disaster movie. I don't know if it's come out yet. The one about the wildfire firefighter?
Uh-huh. Only the Brave.
Only the Brave.
That only cost $38 million to make.
Okay. All right.
And-
Pyrotechnics. That's probably it. That was
Mhm.
probably the big budget.
Probably.
And
Because there's a
has
lot
that,
of big
Has that
name-
come out yet?
That has come out. That is
Okay.
currently at number 7 on the box office.
Okay.
They're earning $3.45 million.
How long has that thing been out?
It's only its second week.
All right. I feel like that might be a slow and steady one, especially with all the fires up north.
Yeah. Well, we can't. Living in California,
Yeah.
most of our existence is dodging wildfires.
Pretty much.
That
yeah.
is something that I frankly completely forgot to factor in when I moved here.
Yeah.
Is how much fire there is in
Well,
this
I
state.
think we were concentrating so hard on earthquakes before we moved here. I mean, before I got out here, my biggest fear, I mean, I remember the Northridge earthquake, and it was like this thing of like mythical proportion, like not mythical, biblical proportion. Like it was insane. And then I got out here, and I think I've experienced like a handful of like earthquakes, but nothing crazy.
They made the San Andreas movie. That's the only earthquake disaster movie I can ever think of existing.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
I
how
can't
else could you
believe
make one?
how have they not made a Northridge earthquake movie?
I don't know, man.
That seems like it's got a blockbuster potential and
sure.
kind of Oscar baity shit
Yeah, totally.
because of how
even
big
if-
it was and
even-
how much it affected Los Angeles.
I remember there's the story of the guy who was driving on this bridge going over the 10, like from the 405 to the 10 connector or something in there. This cop was driving on a motorcycle, and the bridge collapsed as he was driving, and he just took off and fucking got smoked like a chicken on the highway.
See, that's such a
No
cinematic
offense.
shot. You gotta
Such
have
a cinematic
that.
shot. Yeah, that's like, remember Speed? When the bus takes off and it's like fucking airborne?
Yeah.
That was the same, but real life shit.
God,
And the dude died. So sad.
yeah. Well,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
they should definitely make a movie about that guy's life.
They should make a movie about that guy.
Like really just build it up. Even if what if he was just like totally Joe Schmo? Like nothing was interesting about him before that moment, but that was like the greatest thing that ever happened to him in his life. So they would have to definitely rewrite his story and make him hella interesting because he probably. I mean, it was like a fucking. I don't feel like there's that many cops where you're like, wow, what an upbringing.
Yeah, I can't think of any cop stories where it's like this guy was a really cool,
Real winner.
upstanding dude.
Yeah.
It's all cops. All the cop stories these days are, and it's all like, oh, this cop is really fucked up, and he's secretly like subverting the system.
Yeah, and you want to know what that bike cop did who died in that earthquake? He probably shot a black kid like the month before.
Probably.
So he was probably fine. Nothing happened to him from that.
Maybe that's what the movie can be about. This is it's a big karma, and this is how
Mother Nature just
like,
getting justice. No, sir.
You don't piss off Mother Nature.
You're going down.
She's gonna crush you in an earthquake.
You kill a black person and you're a cop, I will kill you in an earthquake for sure.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. All right, what else is going on in the box office?
We got number 4, Happy Death Day, coming in just over $5 million.
How much did it cost to make that?
4.8.
All right, well, way to turn a profit.
Made
I like
about
it.
$50 million at the box office so far.
So far? Oh, yeah, there you go.
It's only been out 3 weeks.
All right.
We're about to see, because Halloween is in tomorrow.
Yeah.
By the time this comes
So this
out.
week will still be big for Halloween movies.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It, which is still clinging to life in the box office, it's at number 10 right now. It's been in the box office 8 weeks, and they're putting it in another, I read somewhere, like 2,500 screens just on Halloween alone.
Oh, wow.
So
That'll get a nice bump.
it's going to get a big bump.
What is it at total?
Total? $323 million.
Crazy.
Almost $324 million.
Crazy.
And that movie is, I think it might time to start seriously considering what Oscars it is going to get nominated for.
There's got to be something. I remember the original It, seeing it when I was a kid. I was like over at a friend's house, and she's like, "Do you want to see this Stephen King movie?" I'm like, "Who's Stephen King?" She's like, "It's about a clown who lives in sewers." And I was like, "Great sales pitch. I'll take it." And I remember seeing it being horrified. And I was never one of those people who like watched it and was like, after that, I just fucking hate clowns. I wasn't scared of clowns. I was just scared after that. It was a scary movie for a kid to see. And when this movie came out, I was like, oh, hell no. There's no way I'm seeing it. Because scary movies when I was a kid, in hindsight, not that scary. They've really stepped their game up with scary movies. I mean, I think scary movies now could legitimately give someone a heart attack.
Yeah. Oh, for sure they could.
So I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to like almost die in a scary movie. That seems like a terrible way to go.
Yeah. I remember hearing there was this movie that came out earlier this year. There was a horror movie that involved cannibalism. It was it's like a French horror movie. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, the French.
The French make crazy.
French make crazy. The French and the Germans, dude.
That was making fucked up movies.
Fucked up.
So there's this movie, and I am gonna look up what it's called because it's gonna kill me if I don't. But there was.
Oh wait, I'm gonna look up a movie too. I'm gonna
look it up. Look it up. So there's this movie, cannibalism movie. This is the beauty of having a laptop. Raw. Okay. Raw is this movie about a girl who goes to vet school and then becomes a cannibal
Oh.
at the school. And
she eats the people or the animal?
well, it starts off where they have to eat a rabbit,
Uh-huh.
like a raw rabbit, and then it evolves into cannibalism. And that movie made people faint during screenings of it at the various film festivals it was screened at. So I don't think it's too far off base to suggest that we're going to see somebody die inside of a horror movie one of these days, like a literal actual death.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay, here did you ever see that movie, The Strangers?
Wait, that movie was called Raw. I gotta write this down.
Raw, yeah.
Okay.
So you remember that movie, The Strangers, from like the mid 2000s, like
Yeah.
07, I think. I saw that in theaters, and that movie, for the listeners who have not seen it, is one of those like mass killer kind of movies where there's a whole bunch of people coming to terrorize people in a house. They're all wearing like animal masks and all this, classic horror movie kind of shit. And there was a guy in my theater who walked into the front of the theater while the movie was going on. He had on basically a costume he was dressed exactly like the killers from that movie, where he had on like a flannel and jeans and then a pillowcase with eye holes cut out over his face. And he walked into the theater and nobody noticed him for a sec, and then everybody looked over because he was standing right by the exit door, and everyone freaked the fuck out.
Oh, yeah. Freak the fuck out.
Freaked the fuck out. And then he just walked out through the exit door slowly. He just stood there for a second, then walked out.
And no one ever knew who the dude was?
No one knew who the dude was.
I mean, fuck, I'd freak out.
Everybody freaked out. And that's the kind of shit you can't pull these days.
Oh, yeah, you'll get fucking arrested.
You'll get arrested. You'll get shot.
I don't know what you'll get arrested for, but they'll arrest you. If you're black, they'll kill you for sure.
Oh,
but
for sure.
Cops will kill you in a second. But yeah.
And then they're gonna get crushed in an earthquake after that. God willing.
When they have bike cop duty, they're done. They're going off a bridge.
I thought I was gonna piss my pants.
Oh, I mean, I would have flipped the fuck out.
It was horrifying.
Yeah, that sounds horrifying. First of all, whoever that dude is, ultimate prankster.
Props to him.
That guy was doing prank phone calls when he was like 4. He like figured it out real quick and was like just kept stepping his game up and up and up. He was saran wrapping toilet seats by the time he was 7.
Saran wrapping toilet seats, very underrated prank. I feel like not enough people are doing that these days.
Very underrated prank.
That and putting Bengay on toilet seats too.
Really? I never thought to do that. Jay, what a gem you are. Have you done that?
I have done that.
Oh, you're a fucking little piece of shit.
Did that at church camp.
Oh.
Great time for pranks.
God, you at church camp? All the counselors must wanted to fuck you. Fuck you.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm sure all your listeners know about your lips.
Of course they know about my
Those lips at church camp.
My tour that I'm going on starting tomorrow is based around. It's called the Lips Across America tour.
Oh, it's great. That's so on brand.
I got custom chapstick for sale. That's how on brand it is.
Are you? That's your merch?
That's my merch.
Jay.
Little tubes of chapstick.
Jay, that's the greatest merch I've ever heard of in my life.
I got to give credit to Alex Hooper for that. He came up with the idea, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea.
Alex Hooper and I have a show tonight. I will make sure to tell him he's a goddamn genius.
Please do. Give him a hug. I gave him a hug already, but give him another
he's
hug.
So great. I want one of your chapsticks. I doubt I'll ever use it because it's probably cheap chapstick, and I'm not a cheap chapstick kind of girl.
But keep it on
hand. But man, I'll keep it on hand. And just in case somebody needs it, I'll be like, hey, don't touch this to your nasty lips, but use it and take note of who's on the chapstick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Let's close out the box office. We got number 6. Thank you for your service. Coming in new this week. That's the movie about war veterans.
Okay.
Miles Teller's in it. It's made by the same people who made American Sniper.
All right.
So it's one of those.
I liked American Sniper. Yeah. Very, very
great kind of movie.
Yeah.
Number 7, we already covered it. Only the Brave, Firefighters. Good job. Number 8, The Foreigner, Jackie Chan's new movie with Pierce Brosnan. Jackie Chan's version of Taken. $3.2 million.
Okay. Don't have no desire to see that.
Number 9 is a movie that is basically being already classified as a flop. George Clooney's directorial. Not debut, but a movie he directed, Suburbicon.
I heard about that on I think it was NPR today. They were saying how bad it's doing.
It's doing really bad.
Yeah.
Matt Damon's in it, and apparently the marketing does not do the movie a good job. Feels very disconnected from what I'm reading about.
Okay.
I don't see this movie staying around for very
Yeah,
long.
and you know what? To be honest, I don't think George Clooney gives a fuck.
He doesn't have to.
No.
He's got
Matt
his Oscar.
Damon
He's got a
doesn't
hot
matter.
wife.
A hot, brilliant wife.
Hot, brilliant wife.
Brilliant. Like, not just brilliant, but a fucking humanitarian. A good person. Hot, smart. I mean, no wonder he wifed her up as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, her whole package matches how awesome his face is.
Yeah.
God, that face. I met him once. Dude, I met him. I crashed a party. I crashed an art gallery party. This was years ago when I first moved to LA. And at the party, it was like so many different people from Ocean's 11. And Angelina Jolie was there, Brad Pitt, Steven Soderbergh, Matt Damon, John Voight, like all the Ocean's 11 people were there. They were supporting. It was Scott Kahn's art gallery. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Scott Kahn was in Ocean's 11. I forgot about that.
So I walk in, and my friend who I'd crashed it with was like, dude, did you see Angelina Jolie? And I was like, oh no, she's like, did you see Brad Pitt? I was like, no, did you see Angelina Jolie? She's mesmerizing. And then I looked past Angelina Jolie and I saw George Clooney, and I was like, dear God, who is that? It's insane, dude. Insane. And her and I eventually like made our way over to him to like chit chat with him.
Staring into the sun?
But here's the thing. It's like staring into the sun, and the sun stares back and focuses on its conversation with you.
Whoa.
That is why he's a star. Because when he talks to you, he's really fucking talking to you. He listens. He's interested, and he's interesting. And he doesn't break eye contact. A naked supermodel could be walking past him, and he wouldn't break eye contact from you.
That's impressive.
No point. It is truly impressive, his conversational skills. I was like, that's why you're a star. That's why you're a star, because you focus on every single person and make them feel like they're the most important person in the room.
You know how to connect, George Clooney.
Yeah. And at one point he laughed and like reached over and like touched my friend's shoulder.
Oh.
And I was like, you're never washing your shoulder.
Better not.
That shirt is getting bronzed.
Oh my God.
Anyways.
That's wonderful. All right. That's the box office. And we got some news coming out this week. So first fun story for us is I can't say our old pal because I don't even know if he knows about this podcast. Probably not. But one of my favorite actors, Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, love him, Sammy.
Teaching his first ever acting class.
Really?
This is coming to us courtesy of Variety. So you're familiar with the Masterclass series of videos? So he is going to be teaching an acting class on that.
Oh, amazing. I want to do one of those master classes. There's some good ones for writers as well. I feel like that would be super interesting.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have done the Steve Martin one for comedy.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey and Dustin Hoffman have done some acting ones. Shonda Rhimes has done a writing one.
Yeah.
David Mamet has done a writing one.
The writing ones for me, I just as you know, because we write, it's the process that they go through to be so good at what they do. It's just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Like, how do they? I don't know. It's the whole writing for the rest of your life thing. Like, how do you make that a job? That's an enigma to me. That's what I want to do.
Me too.
Because you can't. It's our shelf life. You know. At least I'm a woman. I have a shelf life. You're a man. Doesn't matter. But as a woman, I'm like, oh well, you know what? You can't take my mind away from me, and you can't take writing away from me. So if I focus on this and make a solid foundation of this, then I can never not do well.
Yeah. That's a great point.
So,
or
might be getting old, but I'm a writer.
Yeah.
Employ me, someone. Please hire me.
Someone
for the love
employ
of God.
Nicole.
Please.
She's the best. She's a lovely lady.
Oh God. All right. Anyways.
Let's see. But yeah, this is going to be $90 if you want to learn from old Samuel L. Jackson, Jules Winfield himself. And says, in his masterclass, I hope students learn that there's no limit to what they can make believe. By the end, they'll be able to walk into a room, present their best self, and be happy with the result.
Oh, damn. That's a fucking...
You know, maybe this is something that can keep... You're worried about your shelf life, but you're going to be able to present your best self no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. I think I might be doing this.
Fuck the shelf.
Do you want to take a class together once you get back from being on your lips tour?
I might be interested in that.
Uh-oh.
I might have... Well, I'm already, as you might be able to tell, I already have... I have not cut my hair, and I also have not shaved in about 2 weeks.
That's you not shaving in 2
It's me
weeks.
not shaving in 2 weeks. It's still pretty gnarly.
My little baby boy.
I know, but I'm also not gonna shave while I'm on the road. I just want to see what
Oh my
happens.
God, are you growing a playoff beard? I love this.
A little bit of a playoff.
It's great. I love it.
We'll see what happens with it.
Wait, it's November while you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last time I tried it, nothing really happened. But I feel like
you're getting you're going into it with a head start, though.
That's
I think you're going into November with a head start.
Mm-hmm.
Grow that beard out, and when you get back, you gotta just have a stash at one point.
I plan on it. If I can grow something that looks
something solid,
terrible, not terrible,
but like something that's not god awful. But you know what you need to do? You need to do a mustache and a soul patch at some point. That's what
Smash Mouth style.
Oh God, just so dope. That'll be great. You need to do that. Make it happen.
Oh man. Well, I hope that my facial hairs listen to you, Nicole.
Okay, good.
Second fun little news story this week. You familiar with The Matrix?
Yes.
I assume.
Yeah.
So The Matrix, this is coming to us courtesy of the Onion AV Club. So Matrix, everybody knows the whole little green lines thing at the beginning of the movie, the end of the movie. It's sort of their signature look. It turns out everybody's been wondering what that code was for years. Turns out, according to the designer of the titles, Simon Whiteley, it's just sushi recipes.
What?
Yep. I'd like to tell everybody that the Matrix's code is made out of Japanese sushi recipes, says Whiteley, a production designer from England, who's now based at the Animalogic Animation and Visual Effects Studio in Sydney. He scanned the characters from his wife's Japanese cookbooks. So it's just sushi.
Wow.
It's just sushi.
So plugging into the Matrix is just ordering sushi?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Plugging into the Matrix.
I'm always into the Matrix then, because I'm getting sushi on the reg.
Yeah, download that Kazunori hand roll program.
Oh my God, yum yum yum!
I think that sushi.
I want some Toro.
This means now we're going to see a Matrix-based sushi restaurant. This is going to happen
for sure. For sure.
I think that Sugarfish already needs to start putting that shit. Fuck a waterfall. You don't need a waterfall in your restaurant if you got real just code lines.
Yeah, code running down like water.
And they can throw the rolls at you, and then you dodge them.
Yeah, you dodge them. And then if you don't dodge them, they get into your face, and then you get to eat sushi.
That's what, I feel like hibachi restaurants can also latch onto this. Because they kind of serve sushi and hibachi together.
Benihana, those dudes want to chuck food at you.
Oh, yeah. And imagine if you had the skill to dive underneath and have it get caught in your mouth no matter what.
Oh, God, I already have that skill. That's what I have.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, man. I can catch food flying in my face. I have years of experience of catching. I know it's a dumb sex joke. What apps?
It's all right. You had some dumb sex last night.
I had stray sex last night. So yeah,
stray wedding sex.
Wedding sex.
That's the way to do it.
I'm the girl who fucked a guy at a wedding.
Hey,
yes.
I've been a guy who fucked a girl at a wedding.
Yes, big ups.
Boom.
Love it.
One time I ate out a girl in the hotel laundry room.
Oh,
after a wedding.
That is so cute. You put her shit on spin cycle.
Oh yeah, no rinse, no repeat.
Oh, I love you so much.
Just go straight. Get that lint trap going, baby. Man.
I love you.
Go get somebody invest in a sushi restaurant that's Matrix themed, please. Now is your chance.
Please. Or give us money and we'll do it. We'll put the whole thing together.
I think we can make it happen.
We both really like sushi. I mean, who doesn't like sushi?
I actually don't like sushi that much.
What?
I know. I'm probably
all right. Never mind, guys. Fuck Jay.
I'm getting blackballed.
Yeah, I'm blackballing you. I'm gonna lead that.
I mean, it's not like I'm not open to the idea of sushi. I will go eat some sushi.
You're open-minded. I like that.
I've never really had a whole lot of people who've presented sushi to me.
All right.
Like I've eaten sushi a couple times, but I'm not really a sushi aficionado.
So it's like some people with anal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something everybody.
Sorry, guys. Sex on the brain.
You do have a lot of sex on the brain.
Well, I had a lot of sex on
on
my brain. On my brain. My brain. I mean, my stomach. What? I gotta go.
What?
Oh, no. All right. Let's talk about movies.
Let's talk about movies. Let's talk about one last little news story. And this is not a fun news story, but this is stuff we need to talk about. So, obviously, big hot news story from the past couple weeks. Continuing on, the Harvey Weinstein and other various folks in Hollywood sexual assault, harassment scandals going on. People in power are falling. We had James Toback get something come up with like over 300 women are coming forward. Harvey Weinstein has lawsuits pending against him.
By the way, 300, that's like Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Yeah. He's
the
Wilt
Wilt
Chamberlain
Chamberlain
of being a piece of
Shit in Hollywood.
Oh,
Dope.
my God. Good job. I guess. Well done. No.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Oh, you fucking piece of shit.
So, a slight
By the way,
switch
have you read the creepy shit he did? That
of
dude
James
is
Toback?
a creep.
Oh, such a creep.
Like, next level creep. And he fucked with Selma Blair, and she is my fucking girl. She's from my hometown. I love her. Oh, man, you fuck with Selma Blair, I will murder you.
There was someone else really big who came out against James Toback, too, besides
it was,
Selma Blair, right?
What's it called? With the Notebook. Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams.
Love me some Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams is great.
Amazing. I love her. I mean, Selma Blair I love more because she's a Michigan girl, but like, yeah. Rachel McAdams. I mean, like, don't fuck with America's sweetheart. Mm-hmm. She's the bitch from the Notebook.
Can't do that shit.
Don't fuck with her.
So those stories still ongoing, as they should be, because this stuff needs to be talked about, and this stuff needs to find some kind of resolution so that there is a sea change in the system, as it were. Now, this opens up the opportunity for our final news story of today, which is former child star Corey Feldman launches a campaign to expose Hollywood pedophile ring.
Yep, saw that.
So this is coming to us courtesy of The Independent out of the UK. Now, he has officially started a Indiegogo campaign for a documentary he's making to expose the Hollywood pedophile ring. Now, this is something that has been, again, an open secret for a number of years, just like all of the sexual harassment stuff that's been going on.
Does this article mention the Nickelodeon guy? The head guy at Nickelodeon?
No, this does not mention the head guy at Nickelodeon.
So the one that I read talked about this and then referenced this guy at Nickelodeon, this pedophile who's been like Nickelodeon's golden child for years at this point, has made them fucking bazillions, millions, whatever. You guys get it. And this guy is finally getting outed. And they're going to take him down, this fucking perv.
Well, what's going to happen now is I think that guy's obviously getting taken down.
Yeah.
I think this is Bryan Singer's time to finally fall because people have known about him for years. Yeah. And it sounds, I mean, there are going to be so many people in power getting taken down over the course of the next couple of months.
I honestly think, I mean, not that any of it's good, but if you fuck with adult women, fine. Not fine, but if you fuck with kids, you are the lowest fucking level on the totem pole of humanity. I think you should die. If you fuck with kids and you take advantage of kids, it's unexcusable to me. It's inexcusable, whatever.
Either way, it's terrible.
Not enough sleep. It's terrible. You are a fucking horrible monster. Not that Harvey Weinstein isn't a fucking monster, but like, oh man, kids, they're precious. Don't fuck with kids. Don't fuck with animals. Don't fuck with elderly. Don't fuck with people who can't fend for themselves.
And here's the thing. This is a very personal cause to Corey Feldman. As he explained in his 2013 memoir, Choreography, he and his co-star, Corey Haim, were biggest child stars in the 1980s, Lost Boys, etc. They were both allegedly sexually assaulted during that time. According to Corey Feldman, Corey Haim was raped when he was 11 years old.
That's just fucking crazy.
Now, the thing is, they have never released names, and this, I think, is people who really care about if people really care about this stuff getting brought to light and change happening, then this is the chance for names to be dropped.
For sure.
We've already got the head of Nickelodeon.
Everybody's listening now. Everybody's listening. Everybody's taking it seriously. Now is the time to strike while the iron is hot. Just bring the truth to the surface. Don't be afraid. People are listening.
Yeah, bring it out.
And did you see that interview with Corey Feldman when he was on The View with Barbara Walters?
No, I didn't.
Oh, dude, it's so fucked up. He was saying, something about how this industry has a ton of pedophiles. And Barbara, something to the effect of, how can you say that? You're ruining a whole industry. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, but this is what happened.
Yeah.
There's a ton of fucking pedophiles. And it was like 2014, I think she said that. And I was like, that is fucked up.
Barbara Walters.
Why isn't anybody putting her on a skewer?
You're a goddamn journalist.
Yeah, you're a journalist. You should be on the side of truth, you bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, man, somebody needs to nail her fucking tits to a wall. That bitch. Fucking telling him he can't come out because it's going to ruin a whole industry, you awful, horrible
You know what?
person.
If your industry's full of sexual harassment, pedophilia, maybe it needs to be ruined.
Yeah, maybe someone needs to burn the goddamn house down.
Yeah.
And let's build a new house.
Build a new house.
Look, the real estate will be there. The real estate's not going anywhere, but burn the house down. It's a bad house.
Yeah. There's ghosts all up in that shit.
So many fucking bad
That
ghosts.
house is haunted as fuck.
Yeah.
It's time to cleanse.
Get
sage that shit.
Sage, and then let the sage get out of control and burn the house down.
Yes, please.
Stoke the fire with sage.
I'm totally on board with this.
Okay,
and
good.
and this is something we talked about on the podcast last week. The way that change happens is if people keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is why we're going to keep talking about it.
Yeah, every week you should totally touch on this.
We got to touch on
and
this.
see where the progress is with it, because it is super important.
It is very important. I agree. I think that it's vital.
Yeah, 100%. It makes me happy that I get to be in this industry at a time when change is happening.
Isn't it exciting?
It's exciting because it makes me a little hopeful for my future.
Yeah,
I'm not going to have to experience that.
You're the first woman that I've had on as a guest during this whole scandal.
Yeah.
So how do you what is your take right now? Like, given it's been about a month since all this stuff has started to break out.
I just think I mean, every day on Facebook, you know, I'm reading about all the Harvey Weinstein stuff, and then I'm hearing personal accounts of, you know, #MeToo. But a lot of people sharing stories of fucked up things that have happened to them within this industry. Women I know very closely. Mm-hmm. And it's insane. It's insane, and it makes me happy that myself and my friends and those who've already experienced it will probably not have to experience it again, God willing. But I think you know, there's a shift happening, and it makes me hopeful that, I mean, I'm so hard-headed, though. If any dude ever came at me with, like, do this or else you can't have the job, I would be like, I guess I don't want the job. Like, there's nothing I want that badly.
Right.
And I would rather be like, you're a fucking piece of shit, because I just think I just like emasculating a man in any capacity and letting him know he's a garbage monster. So for me, it's like, I just know that I'd ruin my own career for it. But if there's, you know, there's also part of me that's like, if I was broke enough, I would probably sleep with someone for a really good part. But I would have to be genuinely attracted to him as a person.
Mm-hmm. Like if George Clooney came and offered you
Dude,
a part.
if George Clooney offered me a part and he was like, I'll give you the part, but you have to sleep with me, I would be like, yes, absolutely.
I bet you Amal is present for all that too.
Fine, she can get in on the action. That's fine. I feel like she's probably a really giving person in bed.
Probably.
But
she's got that
if you're
humanitarian
gnarly, like
pussy,
if you,
know?
oh yeah, oh man, humanitarian pussy, it like tugs back. She'll sport fuck you and she doesn't even move. But I feel like if you were like, if Harvey Weinstein was ever like, fuck me for a part, I would just be like, ew, you look like cystic acne and you have cystic acne. Like he looks like a very infected, inflamed cyst. That's what he looks like to me. I could never do that.
Harvey Weinstein looks like a man who is crafted out of spoiled milk.
Completely. And that spoiled milk is also mixed with the fucking debris that's found inside of a really pussy cyst.
Ugh. What a disgusting industry we work in.
Oh, pig, man. Fucking pig. And the guy, the one who just got busted, what's his name for the 300 girls? I'm blanking.
James Toback.
James Toback. My God.
Yeah.
The nerve that guy has. Heinous.
Oh my
300 women? 300 fucking women.
And counting.
Oh, but you know what? I hope somebody fucking murders him. Just somebody kill the guy. He's a piece of goddamn garbage.
Keep the story spreading, guys. If they don't die, we're gonna make sure their careers do.
Yeah. I mean, that's worse than killing them, actually.
I think so.
Let's take away their career.
Let's switch gears, make a
right.
hard turn, and let's talk about the biggest reason why you're here today, Nicole.
The biggest reason.
This is a movie that I feel like has some rabid fans and some big, big detractors, of which you are one of them. Today, we're going to talk about why Nicole hates Twilight.
Ugh.
Twilight, for those of you who have been blessed enough to avoid Twilight over the course of the past 8 years that it's been out.
Has it been 8 years?
Almost 10 years. It came out in 2008. And that's the thing. The book came out even before then. The book has been out.
Yeah, the book's
for
been out
over
for a
10
while.
years.
Yeah.
So, Twilight is a 2008 American romantic fantasy film based on Stephanie Meyer's popular novel of the same name, starring Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. The film focuses on the development of a relationship between Bella Swan, a teenage girl, and Edward Cullen, a vampire, and the subsequent efforts of Edward and his family to keep Bella safe from a coven of evil vampires. Why do you hate this movie, Nicole?
I don't know if I hate the movie as much as I hate the fans. It's really hard to separate the two. The fans of Twilight are just such tools because they've created teams, by the way. You know, there's Team Edward and then there's Team
Jacob.
Who is Taylor Lautner? Is that his name?
He's a werewolf. Yeah, Taylor Lautner.
Him and all
of his abs.
It just, you know what? He, to me, of course she's with fucking Edward. Taylor's a bitch. He's just a hairless little bitch. Not that Edward wasn't a hairless little bitch.
But he's a hairless little bitch by design.
By design. And then he turns into a hairy fucking werewolf. I'm just out for werewolves. Vampires are kind of lame too. But just like there's something really dark and fucked up about Edward that's cool. But like, I don't know. Bella sucks. I'm not into her. She's so angsty and I don't get why. Like, your life's fine.
And Kristen Stewart plays her angsty as fuck.
I mean, Kristen Stewart's not even acting, by the way. That just probably is her.
Probably.
She seems like a real angsty little lady.
I watched this movie. I am ashamed to admit that I watched this movie, but I did watch this movie.
We're all sitting here with a lot of shame having seen that.
It would be remiss of me to not say that I have seen this movie. And I remember watching this movie just out of pure hate to see what it was like. And God, this movie is so uncomfortable to watch. The acting, terrible.
Terrible.
The shots, all terrible. The coloring is all weird and washed out.
Yeah.
And it's all supposed to be by design, but it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, not at all. And like, I don't know, his family is actually the vampire family, like the good vampires. They were kind of cool. I was kind of into them. I would like to have just seen more of the dynamics of the vampires. I mean, I feel like at that point it would just be, what's that family? The
Cullens?
No. Like Wednesday, the Addams.
Oh, the Addams family.
Yeah,
Addams
I just feel like it would just be really like Addams family-ish. But like, I don't know. They just seemed really interesting. And then wait, it was in Twilight, the second one where the werewolves come out. So I guess it's really Twilight, all of it. The whole franchise just gets my fucking blood boiling. Because before that, the teenage obsession was Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Which I never got into. I never got into the books. I never got into the movies. I've never read a book. I've never seen a movie. I've never read a Twilight book, but I've seen 2 of the Twilight movies. And I just don't understand. I think it's cool that it gets people reading and interested in literature.
Does it get people reading?
I think it did. I think it definitely did. I think it gets young kids reading, which is cool to me because I think a lot of kids are so obsessed with their phones. I mean, I am. So I can imagine for kids, it's god awful. But yeah, anything that gets kids like enthusiastic about reading, I think is cool. But I don't know. I just think the message in Twilight is just a garbage message. It's like, what ultimately makes her happy? A man. Boo. What a terrible trope. Just how is that great? How is that a great role model of a movie for young girls? Like, listen, girls. Are you down and out in school? Are you not as popular as you want to be? Well, once you meet the right guy, you'll find home. And that's sad. And then she ends up she gives up her whole real human life for a vampire. It's just another way of a woman giving up everything to make a man happy. It's like she has to sacrifice everything to be with him. I mean, granted, he can't be a human again. But I just think it's such a shitty message. It's just like, you know what the happy ending is? A woman gives up everything for a man.
And this is a message that they're teaching to teenagers.
To teenagers.
Because this is a book directed at teenagers.
At teenagers. That's so sad. That's so sad to me. Like, where are the good role model movies? I can't even think of one, really. But I just think Twilight's garbage. And I just think it instills just garbage values in people. You know who's in Twilight that I really dig?
Who?
Nikki Reed. I think she's in it.
Nikki Reed's in it, and
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick's in it too.
Anna Kendrick. I
Anna
like her
Kendrick
too.
is great.
Anna Kendrick. Oh God! Every time I see Anna Kendrick, I think she looks like Jessica Michelle Singleton.
She does kind of.
She's kind of. They're just so cute. Those two little cute humans.
Yeah.
But Nikki Reed, I think she's dope. There's something she did that movie a long time ago. That was like a fucked up dark movie. So I like her. But yeah, I find Kristen Stewart kind of annoying and very one note.
And she's super one note in this movie.
Super one note. And
she's
just
got
one
the
note.
Angsty eyes, the angsty lip bite, and just like the black hair over my face.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I have to live in Oregon.
Oh, bummer.
Oh,
my life is so down.
Oh.
My dad's a cop. Boom hoo.
I had to move from Phoenix. It was sunny there, but it's rainy in Washington. Oh,
no.
Please
Life's
help
so
save
hard.
me, vampires.
I have seasonal affect disorder. Now I'm going to run away with a vampire.
You know, this plot of this whole movie could have been averted if they had just given Bella Swan either a proper dose of antidepressants or a sad lamp.
Or she could have just stayed in Arizona with her mom.
Oh, yeah. Why did she move to be with her dad?
I don't know.
Did that ever get explained in the movie?
I don't think so. They didn't make the stakes high enough. They did not make the stakes high enough. She could have just stayed in Arizona. Fuck this. This whole movie could have been avoided had she just stayed in Arizona.
I have a question for you, because you just said you didn't read the Twilight books. So why did you go see Twilight movies if you had no
I had a friend who was
background for the books?
obsessed with the Twilight books. My friend Jamie, she was really, really into them. I didn't have any friends who were super into Harry Potter, but I did have Jamie who was super into Twilight, and she saw the movie and she was like, it was so good. So I was like, all right, I'll go see it, see what she's talking about. And I don't think I went and saw it. You know what? I saw it on the plane. That's where I saw it.
Oh,
I
you
saw it
watched
on the plane. So yeah. There are certain movies. I think you should also create a classification for movies where it's like, would you see this in a theater? Would you rent this on your computer at home? Would you watch this in a plane? Would you wait for it to come out on Netflix?
Yep.
I think there's different classifications of how good a movie is. Like if a movie's really good, you'll go see it in a theater. Because it's got to be worth it now. It's got to be, because tickets for movies are so expensive. It's like, I'm not spending my money on a movie unless I know it's really good. Have you seen that mockumentary, What We Do in the Shadows?
I love What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, it's so good.
What We Do in the Shadows is a fantastic movie.
You should have an episode where people come on and say the movie that they're fucking crazy about that not a lot of people know about. What We Do in the Shadows. The guy who directed it, who also starred in it, he also did the movie Hunt for the Wilder People.
And he's got Thor Ragnarok coming out.
Yes.
Which is the first Marvel movie that I've seen in a while that I actually want to go see. Taika Waititi.
And he is so just, what a fox. And man, can he dress. But yeah, What We Do in the Shadows, holy shit. When he eats the human food and they're like, don't do it. And then cut to projectile vomiting. It was so great. You got to see that if you haven't seen it. But I think there's ways of doing vampires that's great. Like that for me, I was like, oh, I love vampires. They're awesome. So for me, it's like, I'm not a vampire person. But once I saw What We Do in the Shadows, I was like, yep, I'm a vampire person.
That's part of the problem with this movie, too, is that it takes vampires and it makes them romantic heroes and like weird objects of affection in a very stupid fetishy kind of way.
Very fetishy. And then they bring in the werewolves in the next one.
Mm-hmm. Here's how dumb and fetishy they make vampires and how the pussification of vampires. There is a fight sequence in this movie in a ballet studio.
Oh.
Why are monsters going to ballet classes?
Yeah. Crazy.
This shouldn't happen.
They should not be there. They should be out there in like the fields at night. Like
they're playing fucking baseball.
Oh yeah, that was so ridiculous. Oh, that baseball scene. I forgot how much I hated that. Oh, it was so annoying. I'm like, what? This isn't even fun. What? You guys are perfect. You don't do anything wrong. Oh, vampires. What a group.
This is such a shame that vampire, and they made them sparkly. It's all pretty boys. And I remember this is the other thing that there's, speaking of like weird pedophilia shit, in the movie, Edward is 108 years old. and Bella is 17.
Cradle robber.
Cradle
Pervy
robbing.
perv.
Real pervy shit.
Real pervy shit. And it's like, that was a, you know what? Now you bring that up. I keep thinking about What We Do in the Shadows. At the end of What We Do in the Shadows, when he hooks up with the girl, that older lady, and she's actually younger than him.
Yeah.
He's like, basically what I'm trying to tell your listeners is fuck Twilight and go see What We Do in the Shadows.
I agree. Everybody should go see What We Do in the Shadows. It's available on Amazon. It's available on other streaming platforms.
I think it's also on, I think it might be on Netflix right now.
It should be. Twilight is the epicenter of a lot of really bad tropes.
It really is the epicenter of a lot of really bad tropes.
Here's a fact. If Twilight never existed, 50 Shades of Grey would also never exist.
True.
Because 50 Shades of Grey was written as a fan fiction spinoff of Twilight.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Crazy. It really started a whole genre. It really, and there's probably, I'm sure there were other things that came before it, but Twilight's the one that really hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like just those grocery store novels where it's like just like with Fabio on the cover.
Oh yeah, some romance novel.
Romance novels. I feel like that's the kind of thing where it started from, and then somebody took that and made a formula that was applicable to like young kids. Basically, kids, love is not the most important thing, and love doesn't conquer everything, and love is not enough.
Especially loving a vampire.
Don't love a vampire. Love someone who's, I don't know. I guess it's saying love people who aren't like yourself.
Yeah.
But love people who aren't like yourself, but don't give up your life to be with that other person. Love should be a sacrifice for both people if someone's going to sacrifice. There are a lot of things to be learned from this, kids, of what not to do.
So speaking about these kids, what exactly about Twilight fans do you hate? Because you say, I mean, the movie itself is bad. We can both agree on that. I think a lot of people can agree on that. So, but if your hate really is stoked by the fan base, what about the fan base do you not like so much?
I think I don't like because they actually see Kristen Stewart as Bella. Like, that's delusional to me. Like, people love Kristen Stewart as if she really is Bella. That's crazy to me. And I think that happens a lot of times with, TV characters. Like, if you play a character on TV that has a cult following, people will only see you as that, and then they worship you because you played that character. That's just insane to me. Like, she's not Bella. She's Kristen Stewart. Why are you treating her like she's Bella? And, like, the love between her and Robert Pattinson, they ended up dating in real life.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was like, oh my God, what you saw on camera, that was real. And it's just like, I feel like they probably got together because they knew it would be good for the film. And then they actually started to really have feelings for each other. What if there was some director who was like, you guys need to get together and I'll put you in this movie?
I have a feeling that shit like that happens in Hollywood all the time, too.
Mm-hmm. Like, if you and I got cast in a movie, nobody would cast us as opposites in love because we look like brother and sister.
Yeah, nobody would do that.
If somebody put, like you and, I don't know, someone we know who's, like, hot and, like, could be your girlfriend, and then you would probably inevitably get together with that person. First of all, you'd be doing all these, like, love scenes with the person. And then, like, I don't know. I mean, at some point you make out with a person enough, even if it's a joke, and even if you're doing it just for a part, I feel like you would kind of just fall for that person. I don't know. Intimate touching breeds feelings.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if it's just for a movie. So, Jay, you need to get cast opposite of real Betty and sell some movie tickets. Get on these box office charts.
Who knows? I don't know if I have a leading man charisma though. I'm goofy.
You got best friend charisma.
I'm the goofy best friend.
You got best friend charisma. You've got best friend charisma. You know what you have?
What do I have?
What's that movie where she's all that?
Oh yeah.
Where she's like, they take her glasses off and like give her a makeover, and all of a sudden she's like this smoking hot chick in school.
Yeah.
That's like you.
I'm like Paul Rudd in Clueless.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. But like, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my archetype.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'm like the weird best friend too. We're best friends.
We're weird best friends.
Our friends would be dating.
Oh, our friends would be dating, and we would be like conspire. They wouldn't date, and we would both be conspiring to help them date.
And then inevitably, you and I would end up just dating secretly, but that wouldn't be revealed till the very end.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a cliffhanger.
Oh man.
That's something that
now
happens.
That's a trope.
Like we're sitting in a van together, and then all of a sudden I slide my hand over while you're like planning something on a computer, like you're changing the secret camera over to see if they kissed in the living room or whatever.
And at that moment, we realized we'd loved each other all along.
Mm-hmm.
God, nothing brings two people together like the love that might happen between two other people.
So here's a final question to sort of wrap things up. Mm-hmm. Now, I feel like Twilight is one of those movies that, you know, I'm not saying that there were not movies based around really popular teen books before. Obviously, this is something that's been going on since the dawn of adapted screenplays, and ever since teens really started going to the movies.
Since the dawn of adapted screenplays.
Since the dawn of the PG-13
98
movie rating.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of young adult books that get turned into movies now. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you think is a particularly good version of that?
I would say Harry Potter, even though I've never seen it. But my friends who've seen Harry Potter, who've read all the Harry Potters and seen Harry Potter, say it's really good. It's really well done.
Harry Potter is really well made. I'm going to throw, specifically in the teen romance genre, I'm going to throw The Fault in Our Stars in there.
I did not see that movie.
I saw that movie, and it is a good movie.
Yeah, I hear it's great.
Shailene Woodley's in it. She does a great job.
Love her so much.
So good.
So good.
And it really, I think, it nails the kind of like, this is a kind of movie that I went and saw it with the girl I was dating at the time. Mm-hmm. It's a great movie for, you get a little weepy with whoever you're smashing. Mm-hmm. Bring your wedding stray.
Oh, my stray. Yes. Wait, but is it young love in it?
It's young, but it's about
and is
cancer,
it a happy
so
ending?
It's like
is it a happy ending?
Love. No, it's not a happy
ending.
Oh,
good. See,
somebody
that's what
dies.
I want. I don't want love stories to have a happy ending. That's what I want.
Why don't you want love stories to have a happy ending?
Because life doesn't have fucking happy endings all the time. Majority of the time, there aren't happy endings. You want to know how things end? Not good. You wear a diaper, you shit your pants, you die. If you're lucky, you're surrounded by a few of your kids.
You know?
Maybe they're going to be there to help you.
The Notebook's not a happy ending.
No. It is a happy ending, though.
Not really, though.
You want to know why? It's a it's a bit of an annoying happy ending when I think about it, because they found each other, and she wakes up from her Alzheimer's just in time to realize, and then they die together. And the moral of the story is you need love to die happy. That's gross.
So gross. That's what happened in Twilight, though. She gets knocked up by a vampire. They have like a vampire child.
Uh-huh.
And that's...
Wait, I never saw the end of it. What, did they end up dying together?
I'm basing this off of bare Wikipedia scanning.
So wait, but they died at the end?
I don't know if they died at the end. I know that they had a kid, a vampire child, who's like the savior of the vampire things.
Of course, they have a fucking Jesus vampire. Mm-hmm. The second coming of vampire Jesus. Anyways, yeah, I'm not into Twilight. Annoying.
You shouldn't be into Twilight. No one should be into Twilight.
No.
If you are listening to this podcast and you're into Twilight, I mean...
Why?
Why?
Genuinely, why? Why?
I don't understand it.
If you can give me a really good reason why Twilight's great, I will consider it. Otherwise, if you haven't seen Twilight, don't. Go see What Happens in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows, sorry.
That's a great movie, and everybody should go see that.
Go see it, guys.
Much better Twilight movie.
Much
better vampire movie.
Much better vampire movie, yeah.
I'm just glad vampires are on the way out.
Yeah. Oh, God. The worst. Between vampires and zombies.
Oh, my God. I'm
all
so
zombied out.
fucking over zombies.
Yeah. Zombies, werewolves. Werewolves never really hit. Werewolves were never really a thing.
No.
I don't know why. Why didn't werewolves take? Why did
because werewolves aren't
vampires
sexy.
Take? And then but zombies aren't sexy.
Yeah, but there are no movies about, I talked about this on the podcast a couple weeks ago, there's no movies about people trying to fuck a zombie, really, except for that one movie, Warm Bodies.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to fuck zombies. People are just terrified of zombies and trying to kill zombies. Zombies give you an element of being a hero, and you can fight off an enemy that's coming in hordes. Vampires, it's all love stories.
So zombies is a really good a really good example of good versus evil.
Right. And that's the thing I think that's
I
the
got
problem with werewolves is that there's no way that you can shoehorn a werewolf in as like a classic part of a story.
Yeah. I also feel like you can't see once they're all in werewolfy mode, you can't see their face as much.
Yeah. But think about this. I mean, even in the Twilight franchise, the werewolves didn't win in the end. Team Jacob is the losing team.
Yep.
Team Edward all the way.
Team Edward all the way.
Fuck Team Edward.
But I liked Team Edward versus Team Jacob. Oh, I thought Team Jacob was just a bunch of little pussies.
I think you're becoming one of them.
Uh-oh.
Don't buy into it, Nicole.
Uh-oh.
I can't have this happen to you.
Uh-oh. You guys.
I will stop you.
Oh,
I will stop you
no.
before you go down this rabbit
I'm
hole.
turning into a vampire.
You don't go out in the sun, you're going to get all sparkly. Oh, God.
My eyes are going to get I'm going to get very red eyes. Is that what happens? And
Gold eyes.
Gold eyes. And then they get really big eye teeth. Very white eye teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like that.
Oh, my God. Vampires, not worth it unless it's what we do in the shadows.
Yep,
Don't
that's
see
it.
Twilight.
Don't.
Nicole justifiably hates Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good. Glad I established this.
It makes me very happy.
Okay, good.
Nicole, if anybody does have any Twilight love that they want to send your way, where can my listeners find you?
Find me on all my social media. My handle is at Nicole Aimee, NicoleAimee. Find me.
You can find me at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram, jlightcomedy.com.
When does this come out?
This comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. All right, so next weekend I'm at the Irvine Improv with Dave Attell, Friday and Saturday night.
Hell yeah.
Come.
And this week and next week, I will be on my aforementioned Lips Across America tour. This week, you can catch me at Sound Pony in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I'm gonna pull my calendar so I can get these times right. Sound Pony, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 7:00. You can catch me at Somewhere SOS in Nashville, Tennessee, Thursday the 2nd, 9:00. You can catch me at Elon University at the Oak House, 9:30 p.m. You can catch me at the Ryan Higgins Crowdwork Show at Neptune's in Raleigh at 8:00 on Saturday the 4th. And Sunday, you can catch me at the Basement Theater at 7:00 in Atlanta and at the Punchline in Atlanta at 9:30. And that is a lot of movie hatred and stand-up coming your way.
Awesome.
Nicole, always a pleasure to see you.
I love you, Jay.
I love you too. This has been Blockbusting. Guys, go see something good for a change.